Deadside just went through one of the worst moments since release, in terms of game health, because of some denial of service attacks. So, since I wasn't able to work on any of my other projects, I figured I'd take this time to talk to you guys about the issue, what's happening and how it's progressing, and also the upcoming update to the game. Thankfully, the issue is getting a lot better, and if you're watching this video and maybe thinking about getting the game, you definitely still should. Now with that out of the way, most of you already know what the big issue is right now, and it's the DDoS attacks. From about a week ago at the time of writing this, game servers have been shut down, with most players not able to play the game. The pattern seems to be that if a server gets over 10 people, the server is attacked and shut down for at least an hour, with nobody able to log in. There have been exceptions. 3 days ago, for some reason, the server I helped run, the Wasteland, was able to hold a population of around 45 players for over 3 hours, but it got shut down not too long later. The devs released a patch yesterday at the time of writing this. It didn't immediately help the issue. This is what the game looked like later that day. But now it seems like most servers are back to normal, with the only connection issues coming from servers with a large amount of players in them. So the attacks are still ongoing as far as I can tell, but the effect on performance thankfully is a lot less. Now if you don't already know, every server in Deadside is hosted by Gportal. Bad Pixel signed an exclusivity deal with them when the game released, meaning that Gportal is the only service that can host a server for Deadside. Some people have been criticizing Bad Pixel for this decision, but I still think it was a good one. Bad Pixel is a very small company, especially before Deadside even released. Now I don't have any contact with the devs or really know what their situation is, especially back then. But I'm guessing the reason they signed the deal with Gportal, or even chose them to host their servers in the first place, was that it was the best deal for their money. They also would not have to depend on community-run servers on release as well, which if you have no idea how your game is going to do on launch like they did, signing a contract with a hosting company for consistent servers is a pretty safe move. It's pretty clear now though that the exclusivity deal with Gportal is causing some major issues. Gportal has utterly failed at protecting the servers from DDoS attacks, and has been very slow in fixing the issue. The devs tried, like I said earlier, but they are game developers, not network technicians. It's not their responsibility, and it shouldn't be. Now I don't have any details about this contract, but if there is any way they can get out of it, for the health of their game, I think they should. Deadside might not be extremely popular, but it does have a dedicated community, and if Bad Pixel breaks the contract with Gportal, the community will keep the game alive and well. If Bad Pixel were to release the server files so that the community could host their own, it also introduces the possibility for server plugins and mods, something that would actually help this game flourish. I would even be okay with Bad Pixel just signing another exclusivity deal with a better hosting company. At this point, just getting away from Gportal would be great. That is, if Bad Pixel is even able to. I really wouldn't be surprised if their contract doesn't even allow them to leave, but we can only hope for the best. Chances are we're just gonna have to wait until Gportal fixes all the issues with their servers. Hopefully it won't take too long, but this is a beta after all. We're gonna have to expect some issues. Now something that has been confusing me though is who is actually behind the DDoS attacks. I don't have any real info here, but I'm still left wondering who is willing to even carry out an attack like this. I'm only able to guess, but there are a few obvious culprits that do come to mind. The first being cheaters. People that have been banned from the game, or for whatever reason, can't make money off of selling cheats from the game anymore. It's possible that their cheat maybe got picked up by Easy Cheat, or their website got taken down by Steam, and this is their way of getting back at the game, some sort of revenge. They could even maybe left a back door in the cheats that they sold, and are using the computers of people they sold cheats to in order to form a botnet, which is actually what you would need in order to perform a denial of service attack of this size. Now while this is a possibility, I don't really find this to be likely. Revenge is a good motivator, but an even better one is money. It would take a lot of effort to run an attack like this, especially for so long, and doing this reduces the amount of people playing the game, which if there are less people playing, there are less potential customers to sell cheats to. Economically speaking, this is the last thing someone trying to sell cheats would want. As weird as it sounds, cheaters actually want the game to be popular and successful, so that they can make more money off of it. It seems to me it would take a lot less effort and time for somebody to make cheats just to make a new one, instead of putting all this time and effort into killing the game, and your own income at the same time. Having a cheat detected by Easy Cheat is also not that big of a deal for somebody making cheats. In fact, they want people who buy their cheats to get banned, so that they come back in order to buy new ones, as well as maybe IP spoofers and other things so they can avoid their new ban. So really, I don't see a possible motivation for a cheater to carry out this attack. It doesn't make sense economically or emotionally, but just because it doesn't make sense doesn't mean it's not possible. There is no real way for us to know. If we want to try and guess who's carrying out the attacks, we need to figure out who would benefit from Deadside's player count dropping. Now there are some Deadside servers, I'm not naming names here, but if you donate to the server, you will be rewarded with in-game items. These servers don't get promotion rights on the official Discord, and generally are not received as well in the community. It could make sense that somebody who is running one of these servers could want to DDoS competing Deadside servers so that theirs gets more traffic. But you would think in that case we would consistently see some servers with no lag and high player counts, and I haven't seen any patterns to suggest something like that. Even if some servers aren't as affected by the DDoS attacks, it could simply just be a technical reason. Like, maybe they're hosted in a different location compared to most other servers. So, really, I don't think this is the cause. If it was, we would have noticed that some pay-to-win servers were the only one running during these attacks. If people aren't playing Deadside because of the denial of service attacks, it makes sense to think that they are going to go and play another game. So maybe it's possible then that the attack has been run by a competing game also in the survival category. Get your tinfoil hats on, because this is where shit gets really out there. Here, let's look around. No, I'm just kidding. It could be a possibility, but I can't even begin to say who it really is. It's incredibly unlikely that somebody will actually figure out who is sending the packets for the attack, so we'll probably never know who's behind it. Ever since the recent patch, the DDoS issues have become less of a problem, and servers are returning to normal. But let's talk about the future of the game, because we actually have a lot to look forward to once the dev team is able to work on their game again. A little more than 2 weeks ago, Bad Pixel released a work-in-progress dev blog on Steam, detailing what is going to be coming in the next big update. It looks like they're going to be expanding the southern area of the map, with some towns, industrial areas, and what looks like one military area. But they said they aren't sure about the exact locations, so that's all subject to change. Apparently, the big orange dot is going to be some large industrial facility, and that they will show more of that soon. But until then, I guess I can try to teleport to the area and guess at what it's going to be. And when they share pictures with us later, I can see if I was actually right or not. Yeah, no, this is barren. I have no clue. My best guess is that it's maybe going to be a harbor or something, but we already have one of those, so I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be some factory or something. That's my best guess. They also shared with us some pictures of some new structures that are going to be in this new area. One of them is obviously some sort of medical building, which reminds me a lot of the barracks in DayZ. So maybe that's what the military structure is going to be? There's also some buildings that are going to be in the towns of the expanded area. One of them says Pochta, which roughly translates to mail or post office. There are also some sort of holding tanks, which look to me like some old fermentation chambers for a brewery, but I highly doubt that's what they're actually going to be. My guess is we're going to see those in the new industrial area. But the big stuff of this dev blog is in this little small paragraph at the bottom. They're saying there's going to be new firearms, more abilities to modify weapons, which I'm going to interpret as more mods that we can put on our guns. It's most likely going to be foregrips and compensators, you know, simple stuff like that. But I'm really hoping for suppressors. And finally, there's going to be more equipment, which includes a ghillie suit. I've been waiting for all those, so I'm already super hyped for this update. But one of the more interesting things they said in this dev blog is in the last paragraph, where they say, "We have equally important elements of the game in development, which will bring something new and much needed in the gameplay." This could be one of three things, at least in my mind. It's probably going to either be the ability to go prone, base rating, or vehicles. It could be something else, but that seems to be the three things that the community wants the most, and are pretty important elements of gameplay. I just hope if they add vehicles, that getting one is going to be a long and hard process. They already have batteries and spark plugs in the game, so I'm willing to bet you'll probably have to repair a broken car on the side of the road. I also hope that if it's base rating, it will be a very difficult thing to carry out and requires a lot of gear and preparation to do. I also would want it very loud so that counter rating becomes a thing you have to worry about. Out of these three things though, I think base rating is definitely the least likely, since it would require a lot more things to be added in the game for it to be functional, unlike how there's already stuff for vehicles. I find proning to actually be the most likely addition out of this list, since it doesn't seem all that hard to add, and if they're going to add a ghillie suit, it just makes sense that we will be able to lay down in the grass with it. I just hope that they prepare for people trying to glitch into bases with a new prone mechanic, because I can see it being an issue if they don't. The future of this game is bright. It might not be doing well at the moment, but once all these issues are taken care of and the update is finally released, we will be able to come back to the Deadside that we all know and love. If you guys want more videos about the game and how I feel about it, let me know, because there's a lot of things I didn't mention in this video, and I could talk about this stuff for hours. I was originally planning to release a UAG video similar to the BB-19 one, but since the DDoS attack started, I haven't been able to get any good footage. I also live in Texas and the winter storm knocked out my power and water for a bit, so I figured I'd use my time just to talk to you guys about what's going on with the game since I'm actually not able to do anything else. Like this video, G-Portal sucks. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. There's almost 500 of you guys here, so that's super cool. That's all I got for now. See ya.